Chapter 50. Purpose. Invitation. When Lamech had heard these words, he at once bowed reverently before the speaker and went back to Hanoch. On arrival, he reported to him at once what he had heard from the wise speaker. But the words pleased all the guests at the main table, and Hanoch said very friendly to Lamech, "Thus order then that we rise, so that the day does not end before we have inaugurated the temple of wisdom in the name of the Lord." And Lamech announced such at once from the throne, and all the people rose. But the people from the tables also gave signs to go along, which made Lamech feel somewhat awkward. But the wise speaker went to Lamech and said to him, "Does it bother you that the children also want to walk the path of wisdom? But I think we should not deny anyone wanting to follow us on the path of God's righteousness. For what the upcoming inauguration only represents visually should first take place in us and in the people alive in the Spirit. Before the dead temple is inaugurated by you, the many temples of the Spirit of God in our brothers and sisters, which are their hearts, should be inaugurated. See, that is important, and without it, the inauguration of the temple is of no use. But if you want to leave the people at home and inaugurate the temple without them, tell me, for whom will the temple then be inaugurated? Do you, as an unholy person before God, want to sanctify the temple to Him, the only Holy One? That would not be acceptable, because only the Holy One can sanctify something, but not the unholy. God provides only for the people, but not for the temple. And let the temple be built by you for the sake of the people. But He never created the people for the sake of this to be inaugurated temple. And therefore, at the forthcoming ceremony, the people are the sole, main reason, and must therefore necessarily be present, but not the temple. For if this is not the case, the Lord Himself will inaugurate the living temples of the people, but He will deny the dead temple on the mountain its sanctification, and turn the mountain back into a home of snakes and vipers. Thus invite the people by sending out heralds into the entire city. For I have told you before to allow those to come along whom I want to take with me. Behold, who I want to take along are the people. And therefore you need not be bothered any longer, for only the wisdom of the Lord in man recognizes the right ways of the Lord. These words almost killed Lamech, because he was completely overwhelmed by the superior wisdom of this man. He therefore ran to his servants and exploded them, so to speak, over the whole big city to invite the people to the inauguration of the temple on the mountain. But when he quick-footedly came back to the great hall, Hanoch met him and said to him, "Brother Lamech, why did you not ask me for advice on whether you should do what the wise speaker advised you to do? For this is why I am here." Lamech was a little embarrassed, because he did not know that Enoch was only examining him. And he therefore said to Enoch, "Brother Enoch, I was too surprised by the great wisdom of the man, and also convinced of the enormous and deep truth of his words, so that I could not do otherwise than to act." And Enoch embraced Lamech, and then said to him, "You did perfectly right. But let us therefore depart immediately, so that we can perform the sanctifying proceedings before the sun sets. Let this happen in the name of the Lord. Amen."